Hello, the Draco Ranger here, and I'm doing a review of the ToQger ToQ-oh, which is the Japanese version of Power Rangers for this season. As you can probably tell, it's 5 trains in the typical color scheme for Power Rangers. Now, it's not always going to be like this, but typically it'll be the pink and yellow, green and blue, and red. Now, chances are it is very rare that pretty much you always have a red. Always have a red. Pretty much always have a blue. And pretty much always have a yellow. But anyway, so getting back to the trains, this typical color scheme for the Power Rangers. And this video is probably going to be quite short because there's not really much you can say about it. Usually what takes so long in the video is just giving the doing the sounds as well, and I will not be doing those because I'm sure you probably can find them online, especially since I'm doing them so late, which I meant to do earlier, but I just haven't had time. But I'm going to be doing them now. So I'll start out by showing the Zords. First of all, you have pink and yellow, which are pretty much the same car, which they're kind of like a subway style, subway style train. And they have 2 different fronts. There's the front of the pink, and there's the front of the yellow. Other than that, they're pretty much the same mold, with the exception of something for the Megazord, which is on the opposite side. But other than that, they're pretty much the same mold. That's really all you can say about them. I mean, you can take them off, as everybody knows, but that's about it. Oh, I will also take this time to go ahead and tell you that I will not be doing any of the attachments to the ToQ-oh. I do have some, mainly the car carrier and the tank, and I also have the drill wrestler, which has just come out, but I will not be showing any of those, just because I don't have any other ones, and I'd rather do all of them in one video if I was going to do it. Right. The next ones are the blue and green. They're pretty much the same mold, as I said, with the exception of the fronts and backs. And green actually looks more animalish than the blue one does. But anyway, there are the bullet trains, I believe that's what they're called. They're the high-speed trains. Now, these are quite long. I'll go ahead and give you a comparison with the pink. They are a lot longer than the pink and yellow, but they are still not the longest train. Now, there's not really much you can say about these two. I mean, like I said, you can take them off, and that's about it. Now, for the final train of this set is the ToQ Red, which is probably my favorite train of these. It's a steam engine train, which I really like. It does have where you can pop the sword/gun on the back of it, just to not lose it. And then it's also is the longest. I'll give you a length comparison. Here's compared to the blue. As you can see, if it doesn't roll, the red one is actually just a little bit longer than the blue one. And I really like the red one. I really like these in train mode. Now, they're not very creative, but I really do like all of them, but the red one is my favorite. Now, I'll go ahead and convert it to Megazord mode. So basically you take the red, put it in the middle, pop off the gun, and then you drive up, I guess, alongside red you got blue and green. Now on the side of blue and green there's this little area right there, I don't know if you can see, that has slots and snaps in. That's basically how you're going to connect them to red. And red has these little bars on both sides. And that's how they're going to slide in. So basically you just come in and you just pop it in the hole right there and then slide up. And you do that for both sides. And then you have one giant connected thing. Now, I'm going to do the transformation about like how it is in the show. So this is not really how it is in the show, but it's pretty much how it is in the show. And now, you drive up the pink and yellow. And on the side, you pull out these little tabs here for both of them, and they go into these little holes on blue and red. So basically you just pull them up and there you go. Now you have something that looks kind of like a Megazord. Okay, now you can go ahead if you want to and turn around the fist, because as you can see the end of the yellow and red are the fist, and go ahead and put this in. This way you don't really have to add it later, and in the show it kind of grabs it as it's riding down the rails attached. Anyway, so basically you just fold the feet up and it stands, which it's kind of tall right now, but it'll shrink in a second. Might as well go ahead and fold these arms out, and then basically you fold the back side of the green and back side of the blues down, turn them around. If I can do that. Sorry if I get my fingers in the way, and sorry, I wish I had a better setup right now, but I don't. So you just kind of fold those down and spin. Now for this part, for the red part, you kind of just take it up, and I know what some people's going to say, so please don't. And you pop it up in the chest right there, and you go ahead and spread out the legs so it'll stand up easier. And then you got this giant block thing on the back. So you fold this down, and you got the Megazord without the head. Now on the back of the Megazord, in this slot you fold it down, there's little slots on the side that you can push up, and the head will pop around. And then, as you can see on the top of the head, sorry, I'm trying to focus this, there we go. You have these little door looking things. So you just open up the doors, and there's the face, which is actually a pretty decent looking face. I've seen worse faces on Megazords, and this one isn't too bad. So now I'll zoom back out, and you have the ToQger. Now, this Megazord is pretty good. I like it pretty good, but it does seem kind of awkward because you got the short upper body and then the long legs. So to be honest, I probably would not recommend this to buy it by itself, even though I do like it, just because it looks better when it combines with the Diesel-oh, which I will hopefully have in my next video. So, but I do not recommend buying one. If you're going to buy one or the other, I would go for the one that actually comes out next, which is the Build Russia. I think it looks the best. But if you're going to buy more than one, I'd suggest buying ToQ and the ToQger and then the Build Rasha. But to be honest, I recommend buying all of them. But if you can only afford one, then I would recommend the Build Rasha and not this one. That's my opinion. I'm sorry if I upset anybody by it, but it is my opinion. This is the Draco Ranger signing out.